Welcome to my podcast about the nervous system, inner safety, and the question of why we sometimes react in ways we don't actually want to. Today we are talking about a state that many people know, but often misunderstand. The freeze state. Maybe you recognize this. You have a task in front of you that isn't really that big, but you just can't get started. You want to reply to a message, but you stare at your phone for minutes. You want to have a conversation, but in the moment it matters most, the words just aren't there, or you feel empty inside. Switched off, far away from yourself. Many people then think, I'm lazy, I'm undisciplined, something is wrong with me. But often, something very different is happening. Your nervous system is trying to protect you. And that's exactly what we're exploring today. We'll look at what the freeze state actually is, why our body freezes in the first place, what role stress, old experience, and overwhelm play, how to recognize when we are in freeze, and most importantly, what you can do at home to get back into movement and connection.
Aroha tua
What is the freeze state? When we talk about stress responses, most people think of fight or flight first. Attack, run away, defend yourself. These are very well known reactions of our nervous system. But our body has one more strategy: freezing. Freeze means exactly that: to stop, to become still. It's an automatic response of the nervous system when a situation is perceived as too threatening, too intense, or unsolvable. What's important to understand? The body doesn't consciously decide, now I'm going to withdraw. No, it happens automatically. Our nervous system is constantly evaluating: am I safe? Can I act? Do I have control? When the answer is there's nothing I can do, then the body can shift into a freeze state. Simply but, fight means I can do something, flight means I can get away. Freeze means right now I can neither flee or fight. So the system shuts down. Why does our body do this? You might be wondering, why would freezing be helpful? Why doesn't the body just switch to action mode? The answer lies in our biology. Our nervous system is millions of years old. It's not about feeling good all the time, it's about survival. When an animal encounters a predator, there are different options. I can fight, I can flee, or, when neither is possible, I can freeze. We recognize this response in human situations too. For example, a child experiences a situation that is emotionally overwhelming. They can't run away, they can't fight back, they can't change what's happening. So, the nervous system does something very intelligent. It reduces the intensity, it particularly shuts down feelings. It protects against overwhelm. The problem isn't that freeze exists. The problem arises when our nervous system activates this strategy even when we're actually safe. How does a freeze pattern develop? Freeze doesn't only come from major traumatic events. Many people think nothing terrible happened to me, so this can't apply to me. But nervous systems don't only respond to single events, they also respond to repeated experiences. For example, if someone repeatedly experiences, I'm not allowed to make mistakes. My feelings are too much. I get criticized when I show myself. Conflict is dangerous. I have to function in order to be accepted. Then the nervous system can learn. Being visible is risky. Talking action is dangerous. Better to withdraw. Over time, an automatic pattern develops. You might notice it in every life and life day. You want to make a change, but you can't get moving. You have ideas, but you don't follow through. You want to set a boundary, but you say yes anyway. You feel blocked. And this is the key point. Freeze is not a weakness, it is a protective response. The typical signs of a freeze state. How do you recognize that you're currently in freeze? Some typical signs can include physically, heaviness in the body, low energy, shallow breathing, feeling cold, tension, fatigue despite rest, emotionally, emptiness, distance from your own, feelings, feeling like you are beside yourself, difficulty making decisions. In behavior, procrastination, withdrawal, hours of scrolling, difficulty starting things, avoiding conversation or talks. One important point: many people try to get out of freeze through pressure. They tell themselves, I just need to pull myself together. But pressure often creates even more stress. And more stress can push the nervous system even deeper into protection mode. The way out doesn't come through more harshness, it comes through more safety. What helps at home? Now we get to the practical part. What can you do when you notice I'm frozen right now? But safety note 4. Before we begin, please make sure you are in a safe environment before trying any of these exercises. Do not practice them while driving, operating machinery, or in any situation that requires your full attention. Find a quiet moment where you can fully arrive with yourself. Exercise 1. Orientation in the room. Freeze often means the nervous system is strongly turned inward. A simple exercise. Slowly look around the room. Name, please. 5 things you can see. 4 things you can feel. And 3 sounds you can hear. 2 smells. 1 thing that feels pleasant right now. This gives your brain the information. I'm here now in this moment. Exercise 2. Small movement instead of big change. When your nervous system is blocked, big tasks are often too much. Not I need to change my whole life, but I'll move my body for 30 seconds. For example, shake out your hands, roll your shoulders, stand up and drink a sip of water. Step to the window for a moment. Movement is a message to the body, I can act. Exercise 3. Contact with yourself. Place one hand on your chest or your belly. Breathe calmly and ask yourself, what do I need right now? Not what do I have to achieve? Not why am I like this, but what would give me a sense of safety right now? Maybe it's a pause, maybe a conversation, maybe a small next step. Exercise 4. The smallest possible action. Freeze rarely disappears through thinking. It disappears through a new experience. I can do something. So ask, what is the smallest possible action? Not, I'll write the whole presentation, but I'll open the document. Not, I'll resolve the conflict, but I'll write one sentence. Small actions rebuild trust, step by step. Maybe you talk one thing with you today. The freeze state doesn't mean you're weak. It doesn't mean you're lazy. It doesn't mean you're broken. It means your nervous system is trying to protect you right now. The question isn't, how do I force myself to finally function? The more helpful question is, how can I show my body that I'm safe? Healing and change often does begin with big steps. They begin with small moments of safety. One breath, one movement, one conscious choice. One moment of kindness toward yourself. Thank you for being here today. If the topic of the nervous system interests you, stay tuned for more episodes on stress, regulation, inner safety, and emotional health. See you in the next episode. And stay in your power. Wow.
Aroha tua.